Welcome back, YouTube. J-Bob, the video game slob, back after a bit of an absence here. Life has gotten really busy, as it always does. But one thing that has not gotten busy are the sales at the Antique Mall. And especially as we look at this, the sales at the Antique Mall that are not video games. As you can see here, I had a bunch of that Ray Dunn stuff. I found another box in my garage after I thought it was all gone. I paid, what was it, 50 bucks? Maybe it was 60 for everything last year. I sold like just the candles for something like double that came out of it, and then had something like 4 totes of this stupid Ray Dunn stuff that I thought would be super easy to move. And it turns out you got to blow it out dirt cheap to move it. So I probably made another $100 in total on that deal, so I totally don't regret it. You always got to look for things in life that just pop up and come to you in terms of, being a flipper and being able to use that money to then go buy some video games and stuff for your own collection. But this thing had some watering cans, some mugs, again, more freaking birdhouses, and that kind of stuff. So you can see all that goes all the way down to here. And that is a Wii Twilight Princess, of course. No GameCube Twilight Princess is going for $22, but it was nice that all those people paid cash, so at least I got a nice cash bump on all of that. And then I had these loose Pepsis that were like 22-ounce Pepsis that I bought from like the 70s that still had Pepsi in it. And I'm still hoping every time somebody buys one of those, there is a YouTube video out there, somebody drinking it. And again, I have no idea what Sally Plush means, but we also sold one of those for $5. So essentially $22 in video game sales. Now, granted, this was on a Sunday, but that's bad because that means the start of the month was essentially, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or something like that. Or, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever it was. And no video game sales. So, granted, the weather has been just miserable here. Lots of rain, lots of cold weather still abounding. That kind of stuff. So, we had a bit of a soft April. We'll pull the April numbers today, actually, when we go up to the Antique Mall, see what our sales ended up being for April. But I know it was tough. I know it was sluggish to get there. And I guess it traditionally is, and we have to get used to the fact, especially on this channel, that things were going really well, October through this month. So I don't know, May, weather starts to get better. June, July, August especially sucks because it's back to school and that kind of stuff. But when weather's good, people aren't out, buying video games, playing video games. They're spending money on concerts and picnics and barbecues and all sorts of stuff like that. And I'm also a little worried, especially for May, because, same thing, we have Easter in April, and that takes a lot of money out of the economy for folks buying video games. But we have Mother's Day coming up, and of course, people aren't going to buy for themselves, probably that week. They're going to be buying for their mothers. And so, unfortunately, although women probably make up 50 to 55% of the people that, buy things from me, I don't know how many of those are, mothers. In other words, I think my demographics tend to skew, lower than that in general. So we'll see if that affects us. Not really sure. Hoping to pull through as we just keep picking up stuff that we like here. Oh, I should have mentioned the Need for Speed Unbound was one I didn't have on the Xbox, so we picked that up for $10. Same with Valhalla Hills. I think this was $8. This one is really cool. I maybe will go back and pick up a second one to have opened because right now the sealed price is cheaper than the lower price, which is kind of weird. But yeah, it's this Viking village. I don't even know what I want to say. Real-time strategy, city builder kind of a deal. So it looks pretty cool. Obviously must be built out if it has all that DLC. So pretty happy with that. 2 games that were really under the radar for me as being under $10 sealed. So I was very happy to pick those up. This is a very weird story. I got contacted to come out to a garage sale, and they're like, yeah, we have games, come out. This stuff was priced, as you can see, to the dollar, based on what it was on, I don't know, any kind of price aggregating app. But it's just very weird to find these IM 8-bit, limited print, high demand kind of PS4 games, and they were all PS4 games. This one's disc is loose inside, which stinks, but again, down to the dollar, $17. but it's a limited run game, for 17 bucks. It's got the little thing there. But this is all stuff that I passed on from these limited print things. So I didn't want to pay whatever it is when they come out, $35 and, like 40 anymore with limited run games. By the time you add in like tax and shipping and that kind of stuff. So, again, another limited run game here for 20 bucks. So I used to troll bid on eBay a bunch of limited run games for 20 bucks. And so I won a few of them. So I do have a couple. I don't collect the full set for the, the PS4 or Switch or anything like that for limited run games. There was just too many and I gave up a long time ago. I only really buy the ones of like super big interest, but mostly just the RPGs and the shoot 'em ups. And although this one was PM Studios, it did come with a postcard in the box there. So again, just a game I had not heard of before, hand painted, kind of just weird. And PM Studios, again, generally is expensive or does some weird stuff like that. So what a weird garage sale. It ended up being, I think, $81 if you did the math. And so she rounded that to 80. Good deal for me. I'm happy about it. Of course, it's all going into the personal collection, so there's nothing to be made off of that, but not exactly what I expect to see at garage sales this day and age. But if you were seeing this stuff out at garage sales, are collectors starting to get rid of this stuff? And given that it's like, they probably paid 30, 35 bucks for it, you're not going to sell that on eBay. By the time you sell a $20 game on eBay, take out $6 and shipping and then the time and hassle in finding a bubble mailer and that kind of stuff. If average people even have that stuff laying around, you're probably paying close to $3 or $4 in fees. So you're down to $10. Like, why even bother selling that on eBay at that point? So I don't know. Will we see more of this stuff out and about? I don't know. But there you go. Really weird start to May. We'll keep on it, YouTube. Come back next time.